Hello, everybody. Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America. This is Thursday, September 12th, 2024. And this is the Agree to Disagree show here on the new American media because the old American media has failed you. Thank you for joining us today. It's a fun, special day. We'll get to that later. Blake Walley, that guy right there has been in independent media journalism, gonzo journalism, for a long time. And he joins us today from an undisclosed location east of California. Blake, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Brian. It's great to be here. East of California somewhere.
East of California. We have both lived in California before. It's a different world out here, wherever we are, than it used to be in California. But in the news, it looks like certain communities are being changed intentionally. For what purpose? We're going to cover that. We're going to get into all of these interesting stories. In fact, let me tell you what we're going to switch the folder here. Tell you what we're going to talk about. Oh, I don't think we have these pulled up. Anyway, we're going to talk about Kamala Harris in the debate. Should she be disqualified for dodging questions? Agree or disagree that Kamala was wearing an audio earring during the debate? Agree or disagree that if Kamala wins, all free speech in America will end? Can you believe we're even having this conversation? Agree or disagree that Kamala is lying about her banning assault weapons? Yeah, this is like, would you like to vote for somebody who's completely against everything that this country stands for? Or the orange man? It's just, there's not even a choice.
Sidetrack, Brian, right? Sorry to throw your opinions in there.
Say these things out loud. It's unfathomable, Blake. It's unfathomable. So, yeah, sometimes I start saying things out loud and I can't control the next thought that comes out of my mouth. But also agree or disagree that Joe Biden wore a MAGA hat because he's angry at the elites. Agree or disagree that MAGA is exaggerating claims of Haitians eating cats and geese and ducks and dogs and bald eagles. There's a lot to unpack there. There's some conflation we need to kind of separate and understand. Once again, are we living in a cuckoo clock? What are we even talking about here? Also agree or disagree that people should listen to Taylor Swift and vote for Kamala. And then the reason she gave. I know Megyn Kelly had a really interesting response to that. I just, that's the reason you chose? And finally, the Democrat Party we remember no longer exists. Agree or disagree? Once we let Blake out early because he has an appointment, I think I'm going to run through a list of the jokes that I had been working on for today's episode. We won't do that at the beginning because I needed a little bit more time to rehearse it, and this was opportunity number one. But I'm going to tell you how some of these jokes were developing, and we'll do that at the end. But we have a lot to get to, so I think we're just going to jump into it right about now. All right, we are back. Interesting that I copied, pasted, but it did not take it, so I have to double do it one more. There we go. Like, agree or disagree that MAGA is exaggerating claims of Haitians eating cats? What is happening here? What is happening?
What is happening? I'm not seeing that same caption.
We have a glitch in the system. We definitely have some sort. What are you seeing on the screen?
I'm seeing the headline from the other Tuesday show, Tyreek Hill, and going to be the next George Floyd. There we go. Now I see it.
I had to hit hide and then show again to kind of refresh it. It was glitching from the previous one.
Oh, hide and seek as we cruise through the underground tunnels here.
Yeah.
It's old castle. All right. Well, agree or disagree? MAGA exaggerating claims. So far, I am going to say agree. This has been a controversial topic. Of course, Trump made it, glaring for the whole world to see when he mentioned dogs. I don't know if anyone was talking about dogs, but certainly people were talking about ducks and geese and perhaps cats. I was suggesting feral cats, but not so much that they were eating like literally their neighbor's pet cats. That's kind of where I drew the line. I'm not sure about that. I'm open to the idea, but so far there seems to be a lot of back and forth on whether that's actually true. It could be. There are videos, but it doesn't seem like there's anything substantial about it. And first thing I'm going to pull up, I know there's a few, and I know Brian, I think you posted one of those videos as
well. I've
well.
been posting a lot of stuff. I'm trying to unpack this story because there's a lot of things happening, a lot of news being talked at the same time, but there's a lot of different stories from different places, but it's all kind of happening at once. And some of them are getting blurred together, and I want to kind of split those apart.
Yeah, so fair enough. And I think it was, a hilarious story in a way, and I really enjoyed. I'd say the memes are hilarious. The story is not funny, but when people were just showing all the AI generated Trump as he's rescuing cats from Haitian immigrants trying to eat family pets, but nothing 100% substantiated that I see. But I'm willing to be wrong on this. So here's Michael Tracy, investigative reporter here, journalist. The claim that the GOP presidential nominee made in front of tens of millions was that people's cats and dogs are being abducted and eaten by Haitians in Springfield, Ohio. Now, nobody's produced a shred of evidence for this before or after the debate. So instead, the GOP partisans and sycophants try to deflect by producing scattered evidence for other claims Trump did not make. Presumably, if they had a shred of evidence for Trump's actual claim, they would have provided it by now. So Republicans can whine about the media all they want, and sometimes the grievances are merited. But no amount of whining is going to change the fact that Trump mangled and concocted a ridiculous claim for which he had zero evidence other than what he apparently saw on television. So, yes, we did see these social media clips. Like I said, it was dogs it was cats and ducks and geese. I don't know where the dogs came from, but maybe it's an innocent mistake. I don't know. Let me take another one, a little bit more direct from Chris Rufo, another journalist, saying, all right, let's settle it. He will provide a $5,000 bounty to anyone who could provide his team with hard, verifiable evidence that Haitian migrants are actually eating cats. Deadline is Sunday. Go. Brian, I think you might have shared this as well. I can't remember. This is Alex Jones saying the Democrats can't hide the truth. Haiti is a satanic hellhole. The Democrats are importing the Haitian hellscape to us. And here is Kanakawa the Great talking to a man who claims he saw Haitian migrants in a van catching cats. They said a van pulled over and they had 100 cats in it. That seems hard to believe that there would be a van with 100 cats in it. This must be the logistic. I don't know. You'd have how would you get that many cats in a van?
Well, I think if we're doing the jelly bean question, let's guess how many jelly beans are inside this jar. If you see a pile of dead cats, it could be 100, it could be 10. It's a pile of dead cats. Like, hopefully you've gone your whole life and not walked upon a horror scene like that. So I don't know if you're sitting there counting them or they had numbers on them like NASCAR drivers or something. But, the stories are out there. These stories are not coming from President Trump. These stories are coming from the people in Springfield who are telling these stories. They're talking about missing pets. They're talking about cats and dogs that have gone missing mysteriously. They're talking about suspicious individuals. They're talking about a lot of different things.
Right. No, I know. And there's that big video. I think, I also have, this one here, Brian. I think you shared this. A lot of people are sharing.
Hold on. I switched over accidentally. Let me go back to your screen.
Oh, that's all good. Yeah, you had this one anyway. I just grabbed this from your timeline here.
Yeah. Do you want to just play the first part of this to see what people are talking about? This is
to see this dipshit racist come out and make his horrible statement. But yeah, why not?
Well, hold on.
Awkward and giggly. What? It was
Don't
true.
wave at me, you
well, hold on. Hold on, Blake. What I was gonna say is hold on. I have an edited version of this. Would you rather me play that version?
Oh, I don't care. I mean, this is a we don't censor here. We tell it like it is. But I mean, that's what he's saying. I don't know if was it bleeped out. I didn't even catch that. I'm not worried about the swear word. I'm just pointing out the fact that this guy is doesn't seem credible right off the beginning. He seems a little bit biased, but I didn't watch the whole thing. That's a lot of material here, but here we go.
Don't wave at me, you sorry fucking sand monkey.
Yeah, I mean, like right away, it's kind of like, ooh, this is cringeworthy already. I don't know how much more I want to watch. Brian, how much did you watch of this 25-minute video?
Here, I have it right here. Let me
right.
switch to it. It's the
maybe this guy. I mean, I would probably take most Haitian immigrants over this guy, and he can go somewhere else. He's
well, I mean,
dumbass asshole, right? Okay,
I'm sensing there's a fed up resident here, is what I'm sensing. Let's play this.
Right. But I mean, that's a little over the top with the racism there. Anyway, I don't know. So yeah, there's a lot of video. I haven't gone through it all, and I'm not, I'm not saying there's no way that.
Hold on, like we're right. Talking over. I was playing the.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, you got to change your screen then, because I can't hear anything. I'm just still on my screen.
You can't hear what's on the screen?
Your screen. I'm gonna pull mine off, and then you put yours on. So I didn't know you were playing anything. Here's yours.
Yeah, mine was. Okay, sorry.
Let it rip.
We will figure this out. Let's try this again. We'll get the gist of what's going on.
Don't wave at me, you sorry fucking sand monkey.
There was Haitians in a white van driving around the neighborhoods, collecting cats, skinning them and eating them.
In my opinion, they're worthless. Bunch of worthless fucking sand monkeys.
They're getting thousands of dollars in government assistance. Even the cash assistance cards, they're calling them the magic money cards because they never run out.
Man, they're nothing but a headache. All they're doing is raising our rent and our taxes and wrecking vehicles.
Everybody wants to make this into a race issue. It's not a race issue. It's culture, it's accountability, and it's respect.
Since June, they took me off of, I'm a vet. They took me off of the disability.
You're a veteran and you're competing with some of the resources they're getting and just came in here?
Yeah.
I need some solutions. I'm losing my mind.
This is Springfield, Ohio. What was once a small town in Ohio, home to roughly 60,000 working-class Americans, until 20,000 plus Haitian immigrants flooded into town with rumors of them eating the neighbors' cats and local geese.
What did you do? Why'd you...
All right, now this right here, let's talk about this. This got included into this project, and we can go through. I'm not going to play the whole clip. It's on.
Right, well, this one I'll
media
tell you.
But tell us about this one. This is not actually Springfield.
Well, I don't know if it's Springfield, but this lady's also, from what I understand, not a Haitian immigrant either. This was one that this has made the Republican and the MAGA people look bad, is because they found this lady who does talk about cats, but it seems like I don't know if it's an older clip, but it's like another lady somewhere in Ohio, but she's not a Haitian immigrant. She's like an American, as far as I understand.
Yeah, this lady is from Canton, Ohio, where the Pro Football Hall of Fame is. And this person is currently, I believe she's incarcerated, facing charges. Canton to Springfield is 2 hours and 31 minutes away. Springfield is a little bit west of Columbus, and Canton is up by Akron. So it's about 2.5 hours away, but this is a new story. This is a new story about this woman who destroyed this cat and was on the ground eating it here in Ohio, right around the same time that people in Springfield are reporting that there's a large Haitian population. There are rumors of the Haitian population who are widely known for practicing voodoo and Santeria and animal sacrifice, that this is happening, that geese are being taken, that ducks are being taken. Let me just play a little bit more of this, then I want to switch to the 911.
Cats are the other white meat, Brian? The new white meat? No. Cats
are the other new white meat. So one of the jokes I was working on was going to be talking about when I went down to Florida. Went down to Florida when I was a younger man and stopped into one of these restaurants. It was kind of like, there was like an alligator tourism thing where you could kind of go tour like an alligator farm and watch how they're raised and how they're fed and this and that. And there was a restaurant there, and got to eat some alligator. And so, of course, the waitress came over, and I'm like, what's good here? Because that's what I always do. And she's
every time. Brian never orders anything off menus. I always got to ask.
Blake knows this. I have dined with Blake on more than 100 occasions, and I usually let the person who works there pick for me what I'm going to have. But that, you know, they recommended fried alligator. I'm like, I don't know. What does it taste like? And she's like, tastes like chicken. I'm like, oh, tastes like chicken. But I do still have friends and family up in Ohio, and I was recently going on that trip, kind of like that, roughly the same patch. I was going in between Canton, Ohio, and Springfield, and I stopped at a place, and on the side of the road, it was kind of like one of these pop-up restaurant things, like, you know, I don't know, like you'll see cooking hot dogs or something. And I walked over there, and I kind of asked, like, what do you have? You know, and person's like, we have alligator, and kind of. I don't know, something the way they said it, I wasn't quite believing it. I'm like, alligator, huh? You know, I had that in Florida a while back. What's it taste like? Guy goes, tastes like kitten. I said, what? He said, tastes like kitten. I go, you mean tastes like chicken? He goes, yeah, that's what I meant. Tastes like chicken. That was one of the jokes I was trying to work on for today. I was trying to figure out exactly how to do it, but that was one of a series of jokes I was building up to. Yes, they cook the cats to perfection. Kenneth and I are doing joke writing on the side. We're going to bring that back. But anyway, this is in Canton, Ohio, and it's happening right now. It is a legal case. They think this woman lost her mind or was on drugs or had a mental break with reality. So it's not good, but it is happening in Ohio, but it is not happening in Springfield. Now, if I share this tab instead, this is a 911
Communications.
911 call from Springfield. This is Clark County Communications. Here we go.
County Communications.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers. The last numbers was 9898, and it was a gray Toyota Tacoma they took off on. There was about 4 of them. There was 2 men, 2 women. I couldn't tell the age because I'm in a hurry going to this orientation, so I don't be late.
What direction?
So this is an actual report of animals being stolen by groups of Haitians in the community. Yeah. This only recently happened where their community's been completely inundated by Biden, Harris, Obama, the Democrats, to try to change the voting demographics of this nation permanently, to change the culture of this nation permanently, instead of a slow process where people are properly vetted with backgrounds and they go through a process of assimilation. They just want to dump people with very different cultures into America and change this country, Blake. So, you know, this is one documented case. If what I have in front of me from the Clark County Communication Center is factual, this was something that came in a couple of weeks ago on August 26th. These stories are going around from not just the people being interviewed in that video, but calling into the police. There's a lot of these stories happening.
Oh, I 100% believe it. I'm not denying that. I do believe it. They're taking geese and ducks and probably feral cats. But are they actually taking people's family pets? I don't know about that. I haven't seen anything substantial. So
this woman here, she had something to say about it. I believe she's a resident.
This shit ain't no joke. It's not funny.
Hang on, let me turn this up a little bit. It got a little quiet on me.
This shit ain't no joke. It's not funny. I really do not feel fucking safe here, bro. Like, everyone on TikTok, on Facebook, making these jokes to get everything's fucking funny. Like, imagine you being homeless for a whole fucking year for no fucking reason. Like, what the fuck? This shit is not fun. This shit is not cool, bro. They really out here decapitating animals and y'all are making jokes out of it. Imagine if you went outside and you saw your dog's head decapitated on the fucking ground. Like, are you, dude, why are y'all thinking this shit's a joke? It's not a joke. I don't feel comfortable walking anywhere. Like, what the fuck? I should be able to feel safe in my own city. Everybody's fucking homeless out here. Ain't shit but fucking scary ass Haitians just lurking and creeping and shit. Y'all thinking this shit's motherfucking funny? I keep making this shit up. It's not made up, bro. This shit is real life. This shit.
So either she's faking, or this is a really distressed woman that Kamala Harris clearly showing that Democrats don't care about women. They don't care about the safety of women in America.
Well, that could be, I don't know exactly. Again, I don't know if she lost a pet. She's hyperventilating. I don't know. One of the worst things I've seen, besides them, taking local wildlife and cooking them and eating them, is the staggering number of like traffic accidents. Like, holy shit, these people have no idea how to drive. What are they doing? And they've caused all kinds of mayhem. And then there was, I cut it from the stack, but there was a man talking about that. Like a Haitian man like knocked over a school bus and his son died. But then the guy was like apologizing for the man, saying, "Oh, it's not his fault. He's an immigrant. I almost wish he was killed by a old white man so people wouldn't be racist towards the immigrants." But
where do they find these people that say such ridiculous things?
That's why I cut it from the stack, because I don't want to I don't want to rip on a grieving father, but I mean,
I think you should play that. I don't know what's going on. I'm not like piling on him. I just don't understand the philosophy of people that are so worried about being called a bad name that they're going to vote against their self-interest and deny reality when it's right in your fucking face. It doesn't make any sense to me. The immigration process is supposed to be an assimilation process and a thorough vetting. If you can be here, you can be on your own. You can make money and stay out of trouble, stay off welfare, stay out of the prison system. You're not being a burden on. They're doing the exact opposite at the detriment of the residents of the places that these people are going to. The thing I did want to get to, this one here, this is Annie saying, my partner at work just told me she picked up her brother-in-law in Springfield this weekend. And he told her that he was at the park and saw this Haitian man run up to these geese and cut its head off and to take it home. And he did it right in front of a bunch of young kids. And they're asking the mayor for some help. But I wanted to show, where did the tab go?
It would be terrifying.
I mean, it is terrifying. I don't think they're making all these things up.
They're not making it up, but there is no evidence that they're actually taking people's family pets and killing them. That's where I draw the line. So it's geese, ducks, and maybe feral cats. Totally good. I haven't heard anything about dogs. So as much as I, support Trump, I was.
Well, you just heard that girl talk about
moment, like,
you said that girl talk about the decapitated dog.
Well, that one girl, I don't know.
How many girls does it take to be believable?
Do you think Trump saw that particular video before he went on the debate stage?
That's not a question I'm asking. Do you not believe the girl because she said it, or because there's only one of her? These reports are everywhere.
Right. Well, you still got that 25-minute video, but again, these other guys are pulling it out. One of them is even saying, "Here's $5,000. Email my staff. You have till Sunday. Give me proof." And I think that means something. And Michael Tracy, I like what he does. I think he's pretty fair as a reporter. He takes some criticism, but I think he's good on both sides. And I think this is embarrassing for MAGA when they keep perpetuating this if it's not true. It makes us look as bad as some of the leftists out there that keep going, Project 2025. He said bloodbath. He said inject bleach. And then we're saying, oh, the Haitians are eating your family pets. No, they're not. So we have to be above that.
You don't think so? Okay, so you think you have enough information to debunk this. I don't.
I'm not saying
there's enough information to debunk this. I'm seeing terrified people asking for help. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, they as they should. And we saw the man talk to city council, but he didn't mention anything about, cats and dogs being, eaten by the people.
All right, let me provide a little context here. Here's
but the police need to come in there and do something because they're being overwhelmed by this other culture, and it's messing up the community. I agree. And the traffic accidents and taking geese out of the park, that's bad news.
Remember, there's that Alex Jones joke about, did you know there's free ducks at the park? You can just go down and take them. Did you ever hear that Alex Jones clip?
I have not.
You didn't hear the Jones about the government doesn't want you to know this, but ducks are free. You can just go down to the park and take some. You've never heard?
Recent? Is this old?
I don't know. Look it up. All right, but here's a lady that.
But yeah, I don't know the ducks one. All right. Yeah.
And by the way, there's tons of runoff from the pharmaceutical industry that's going into the water that is messing with the biological makeup of.
All right, we're not going down that one, but I'm just saying that's a.
No, I mean, like that was proven true as well.
Right.
But you were called crazy if you mentioned that. Anyway, here's a woman talking about what's going on in the Haitian community. She's Haitian. Her father came over, had his stuff. Elon shared this today to kind of provide some perspective. If you drop 20,000 Haitians, let's do the math. Let's kind of think this thing through. Here you go.
My father immigrated from Haiti to the United States in the late 60s as a teenager. And I want to talk about these recent comments about the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio. First, I want to say my father and I are now estranged, but I did know him in my very, very young years. And when he immigrated, he was one person and they weren't sending, thousands of Haitians in one area. He wasn't eating people's pets and he didn't practice voodoo, but he did say that most of the island, the majority of the island, does practice voodoo. The reason they eat cats is for two reasons. Number one is survival. This is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. You can't just go to a food bank like you can here, or just go to McDonald's and get some free or cheap food. Unless, of course, there's a Christian missionary there. People in the United States have a really hard time imagining that type of thing, but it is true. Second, they do animal sacrifices for their religion, voodoo. They make these animal sacrifices to these gods for different reasons. You can do your own research on this. Do I think voodoo is a demonic religion? Yes, I do. That doesn't mean that you hate these people. These people need prayer. But you can't just take over all these people from another country and expect it to work. Not to mention it doesn't fix the problems of that country. And there's more people left in Haiti that we can bring over. It's not racist to acknowledge that this is a problem. It's not racist to talk about these things that are happening. This is not just white Americans saying this is black Americans. You can look at the people in Springfield, Ohio saying that this is happening. Y'all just want to joke about Trump and say that he's crazy for saying that this is happening instead of actually checking at all to see if this is happening. You want to make jokes about these things. Well, what if it were happening to you and your community? And no, it's beyond eating their pets, even though that is bad enough.
So there's that. Thoughts, Blake?
Well, no, I mean, she makes a point, but you also got to keep in mind that she's talking about their island and, they don't have food banks and McDonald's like we do here. And those people also probably have the unlimited EBT cards. I don't know if they're unlimited, but the point is they can go get groceries. They can go to a food bank. They can go to McDonald's. That doesn't mean they're going to eat your family pet. Now, it'd be one thing if they shipped them over here and they had no money whatsoever. Then who knows what's going to happen?
But who's funding this, and when does that funding dry up? Like this could get shut off immediately. Who's funding all of this, and when does that money stop? And what happens when these people are broke? They don't know the customs, they don't know the language, they haven't assimilated. Now they're just in a foreign land, broke.
Right. Well, what happens if shit hits the fan and all EBT cards are worthless, no money in the bank? Yeah, you know what? Even you and I are going to be trying to grab ducks out of the backyard, So
let me play a moment of this, Blake, because it addresses the EBT question now.
You killed a cat. Did you eat that cat?
Once again, the lady in the video, this is from Canton, Ohio, 2.5 hours away from Springfield, but still in Ohio, still within the same month that all of these stories are coming out.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
And causing car accidents left and right, and driving locals out of their homes by paying above-market rental prices with welfare subsidized by the American taxpayer. Are these Haitians eating cats? How did they travel 2,000 plus miles from Haiti all the way to Ohio? And do the locals and their new Haitian neighbors get along? I pulled up to Springfield myself to see if this was real or overblown fake news.
A lot of this is alleged because I truly don't know what's going on, and neither does Twitter. Twitter is relying off of a few images and a few Reddit threads, and there are rumors that Haitians are taking neighbors' cats and eating them.
So anyway, you can do a further deep dive, but there are lots of community complaints about what's happening in Aurora, Colorado, what's happening in Springfield, what's happening. There was also a bald eagle story, Blake. I know that one kind of got conflated as well. You saw the bald eagle story.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was in Ohio, was it? That was, okay, it was Nebraska, a couple of Honduran migrants.
Yeah, so according to the Daily Mail, 2 more illegal alien invaders, Honduran migrants this time, arrested after shooting down a bald eagle that they plan to cook and eat in Nebraska. So you have Canton, you have Springfield, you have Nebraska, you have all the problems with the Venezuelan gangs at the facilities, the hotels, and the apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado. Blake, this is all starting to bubble up and pop at different places across the country right now. This is what Harris, Obama, Biden, and the Democrats have brought to America.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. They are overwhelming a lot of these cities with immigrants, and they're getting all kinds of benefits while the rest of the people in the community are struggling. So it's ridiculous, whether that's, Chicago, New York, and even here, as Unholy Oaks is saying, in San Antonio, where that's down by the border. They've been overwhelmed with these people, and they get all kinds of new clothes, food stamps, and cash the city gave them. Meanwhile, they're probably walking past the homeless veterans with their stacks of cash and new clothes just for, I guess, getting here. Maybe you should get rewarded if you're going to survive through the getting trafficked through Mexican desert, and then you're going to get across the Rio Grande.
Yeah, and then for the rest of your life, you owe a debt to the cartels, and now you have cartel assets strategically located across this country. This is insanity, Blake. Kenneth saying as a cat and dog owner, it really is not funny. I agree. I'm a feral cat community advocate, as Blake can tell you.
You just got to bring in the Haitian immigrants, Brian. You'll watch that feral cat problem go away in a hurry.
Wait, what do I have to do? Oh, yeah. It's like on The Simpsons where they have snakes and then they bring in bears to get the snakes. I'm like, yeah, but who's going to get the bears? You go, oh, no, I just figured that would take care of itself in the winter. You're like, oh, my God, what's happening here? Kind of thing. This is all ducked up. You got to be kidding me, of course. Keith is saying, when is TNAM going to Springfield to see what's really going on? All right, to be continued on that. We did have a conversation today about that. Maybe we will. Maybe we will.
That far.
All right,
I always did want to go to Cincinnati and get some chili. So I've heard Cincinnati's a pretty cool town.
But, all right. Well, we shall find out. Maybe, we hit a Cubs game. Maybe we could hit a Reds game. ST is saying not a shred of evidence brought yet. Okay, so what do you call the 911 call about 4 Haitians taking stacks of ducks in their hands? They've killed stacks of ducks. You're saying that's not any evidence of evidence. That's not evidence. Okay.
Well, I don't know, but I think he's talking about family pets.
Dog. That's right. Not evidence either. Okay.
Okay. No dogs are family pets. I think that's what he's saying, but I don't know.
I don't know what they're saying. They're saying not a shred of evidence. What? That illegal aliens are killing bald eagles, ducks, geese, cats, and dogs. These are reports that are coming in. That is all called evidence. You can choose to ignore it, but that doesn't make it incorrect. I'm not telling you this is happening. I am showing you people crying that they're terrified. They're talking about decapitated dogs. They're 911 calls about killed geese. 4 people carrying dead geese that they've extracted. Okay, that's called evidence. I don't know what to tell you. The woman that got arrested eating a cat on the sidewalk. We've gone into zombie land in 2024. We're literal zombie land.
All right, he's saying family pets to clarify. So there is no evidence yet that anybody's beloved family pet was smuggled and stolen out of their house and eaten by Haitian immigrants.
I would like to know the dog that woman was crying about. I'd like to know what did she see a decapitated dog, or does she just have? I wouldn't cry over the story of a decapitated dog. If I saw it, it would probably trigger some really grotesque thoughts and feelings. She was crying, saying, "You guys are just making jokes. You don't understand how terrified she's petrified to be in her town now because of what Obama, Harris, Biden have done, what the Democrats have done to ruin this country." So I'm not going to dismiss any of this stuff out of hand. We are still digging into it. We are still trying to figure out.
We agree to disagree, show, and I disagree. I think it was a mistake for MAGA to jump the gun. It was fun to believe that, but it kind of came crashing down, and it kind of backfired.
I disagree completely.
When Donald Trump got on stage and said dogs, he could have just said, "Hey, it's, there's been rumors of cats and ducks and geese." That would have been fine. That would have been interesting. But then he got the fact check, and now the liberals, the leftists, have been dunking on this all week. And it's, to be fair, we haven't seen that direct evidence of family pets being eaten. So anyway, that's where I'm going to disagree on this, and I don't want to see this side look stupid by taking the bait. Anyway,
Bald eagle in Nebraska. That's the thing that happened.
Okay, right.
Illegal aliens.
Was the bald eagle a family pet? Was the bald eagle somebody's family pet? They're like, "Hey, I left my bald eagle in the backyard." And he's
bird. That's the symbol of goddamned America.
I know. What are
That's
the
all of our
Hondurans?
pets. That
Do you
is our
think
national
Hondurans know
pet.
that?
That's
Yeah.
our national protected pet. Yes.
Okay. No,
I'm
I
gonna
know.
stretch and call that our national pet. It's our fucking national animal.
I know that. You know that. Do the Honduran immigrants know
That's
that?
why you don't bring people in without assimilating them, without
agree.
teaching them our land and our culture. You don't
I
just
agree.
dump people from elsewhere and expect them to figure shit out. You have a process. You explain culture. You explain what you're walking into. You prove that you can keep up with it and you don't cause problems for your community. And after a certain amount of time waiting in line, all the people that have been doing the immigration process the right way, then you're allowed to stay here. You don't just get dumped. The Democrats dumping people from other nations is just causing enormous amoun's of problems.
I'm not going to disagree with that, of course. No, I'm fucking against everything they're doing on the border and this immigration policy. There's nothing. This doesn't make any sense unless you're talking about trying to, grant amnesty to all these people so they can vote Democrat.
Well, ST is saying, screw that eagle, Blake. So that's the type of person ST is. So you can get the hell out of here.
Gee whiz.
All right, let's move on to the next topic because you are out of your damn mind, ST. All right. So we're filtering and disseminating different variations of animal abuse and illegal aliens killing things that are not supposed to be killed. Cool. Are we clear now? There's still some ambiguity. There's still a couple questions, but there are legitimate reports out there that are happening, and you'd be a fool to just mock and laugh them. So speaking of fools, let's talk about a woman who's made her entire career out of bandying about all of her awful decision-making prowess. Taylor Swift has officially endorsed Kamala Harris. And Megyn Kelly said there was a very specific reason why, but Blake agreed or disagree that people should listen to Taylor Swift and vote for Kamala.
No, I am going to disagree. But actually, to be fair, I did sort of agree with that. I'm going to just pull up one of my tweets from the other day. As soon as she made that big announcement, like they were just waiting for it. We knew it was coming, and it happened right after the debate. As Taylor Swift put on Instagram that she will be casting her vote for Kamala, and Tim Walz voting for Kamala because she fights for the rights. Is this up there, or did you?
No, I switched it back. Now the studio has changed where you don't have to click it twice. Now it just goes over what was there, and I didn't want that. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So, according to Taylor, she believes they need a warrior she fights for the rights and causes, I believe, need a warrior to champion them. I think she's steady-handed, gifted leader, and believe we can accomplish so much more in this country.
That's so absurd. Gifted
Yeah.
at what? Name a single Kamala achievement.
Right. No, I agree with that.
And she should be fired and jailed for dereliction of duty at the southern border as borders are. It's treasonous what she's doing. Treasonous.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. This is Taylor's words here. So she's believes we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by a calm and not chaos. And I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ plus rights.
Well, that's one way to say it.
Right.
Another way to say it would be how Megyn Kelly said it.
Right. So anyway, Taylor says she's done her research, made her choice. Your research is yours, and the choice is yours to make. And yes, I think that's the part where I do agree. And that's what I said. I said people should listen to Taylor Swift and do their own research. She may be a professional singer and performer, but she's an amateur in political philosophy. Brian, I don't know if you were going to put something else. I saw Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports. Brian, do you watch the One Bite Pizza reviews? I've been watching a lot of those lately.
You're binging pizza reviews.
Oh, they're hilarious. Yeah, a lot of them are really good. They're pretty fun. He's done a lot.
I've seen quite a few, I suppose. My brother used to love them. He was a really big fan of the pizza reviews for sure. I've seen a few. Yeah. No, so it's
One Bite, Brian. Everyone knows the rules. All right.
Yeah, one bite, one take. Everybody knows the rules.
So yes, I didn't know he was a big Swiftie fan, apparently. So yes, we find out Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala. Let's get to get through these gruesome ads here on the Gateway Pundit.
Hey, speaking of gruesome, talking about one bite, everybody knows the rules about pizza reviews. Kenneth saying Walz prefers cream of horse soup. All right, talking gruesome. Yeesh.
Okay. Well, Barstool Sports founder and self-proclaimed Swiftie, Dave Portnoy, said that while Taylor's endorsement of Vice President Kamala doesn't change his opinion of the pop star, he plans to vote the other way. And he says, as the king of the Swifties, people are asking me what I think of Kamala endorsement. He says, I don't care. People can vote whoever they want. How somebody votes will never change my opinion of a person. I'm voting the other way, but to each their own. Yeah, Brian, and I think even Ben Shapiro put something out the other day. Like, if people are going to be voting for Taylor Swift just because she endorsed or voting for Kamala because Taylor Swift endorsed her, you shouldn't have a right to vote. And I think it should be like a trap. Like, people should be like, hey, why did you vote for Kamala? Well, Taylor Swift told me. It should just automatically be rejected right there at the ballot center. You should not be allowed to vote.
I told you when I overheard two girls talking during the Gore-Bush debate, Gore-Bush election. And so what did you vote today? Yeah, I voted today. Did you vote today? I voted today. Well, who'd you vote for? I voted for Al Gore. You voted for Al Gore? Why'd you vote for Al Gore? I voted for Al Gore because he's cute.
Yeah.
A part of my soul died that day. If this were a cartoon, you would see a piece of me break off that I would never retrieve again. A part of my soul died simply overhearing this conversation between two chuckleheads. That was a pretty difficult one.
You think he's handsome and cuddly, Brian? No.
Handsome and cuddly? Yes. A man bear pig? Yes, man bear pig is handsome and cuddly. Let me go to Megyn Kelly. She had a couple of things to say about Taylor Swift's endorsement and why she gave as a reason, allegedly, to endorse Walz and Harris. This is pretty astonishing. Make sure the volume's up.
Some lunatic dropped a note in my personal mailbox outside my house begging me not to boycott Taylor Swift, as though I have that power. I'm allowed to criticize Taylor Swift, and I don't give a shit who gets upset. This is disgusting. If she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants. But to say the reason she's doing it is because of Tim Walz's stance on LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift, and F all of the people who want to see these children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-gazillion-dollar mansions, never to think of them again.
Blake, I couldn't agree anymore. If you cared for these people who are going through these things, you do not make it easy for them to permanently damage their ability to ever have an orgasm, to have fully functioning pipes and like the whole biology. That's not helping people. And for Taylor Swift to say the Tim Walz thing, and that's a big reason, apparently, at least according to Megyn Kelly. I didn't see that in that press release, but Megan saw it somewhere. But before people have the age of consent to just totally wreck themselves trying to be something they never can and never have an orgasm again, I think you got to protect, especially the children, at least until they're 18. If you're 18 and you make a decision, a permanent
decision, one, right?
If at 18 you want to pay for something and you want to do something yourself, get your tattoos, have your stuff, have an operation if you want. But to bring kids into that and to expose them to that and jeopardize all of their abilities to grow up with fully functioning parts, I don't know how you could possibly look at that scenario and disagree with Megyn Kelly.
Right. This is a losing issue for the Democrats, and she wasn't called out on it. She should have been on stage at the debate night for her, because everybody's talking about that. Even Aaron Burnett couldn't believe it, that she was willing to use taxpayer money to fund transition surgeries for detained migrants trying to sneak over the border, and we're supposed to give them sex surgeries. It's insane. Yeah, the Democrats have really turned into a much different party. I think that's in our stack. Very different than it was 20
let's
years
pause
ago.
and pivot to that one. All right, Blake, agree or disagree with the Democrat Party we remember no longer exists?
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that, and that's from it's from RFK, actually. Let's see if I can get this story up.
Yeah, who would know better than RFK, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I know as well, because I kind of considered myself a Democrat, at least for, growing up. And then 2004, I still was reluctantly, I voted for Kerry because I just wanted to get rid of the Bushes. So, but yes, in 2004, the Democrats were a far different party. RFK blasting Kamala, the biased debate moderator, says the party that I grew up doesn't exist anymore. Maybe we should just play this clip, or it's just a short one that was on Hannity the other night.
Fortunately, we had moderators who were clearly biased, who were constantly fact-checking Donald Trump. None of these kind of whoppers that the vice president was saying. And
all right, so I'll just go off. Actually, that I was on the wrong clip. Let's pull this.
Yeah, I was disappointed by the evident bias of the moderators who were fact-checking constantly, kind of trivialities by President Trump, but didn't, as far as I saw, they didn't fact-check Vice President Harris a single time. But you're right, Sean, the party that I grew up in doesn't exist anymore. The party of Robert Kennedy and John Kennedy was a party of peace. It was the party of resisting the corporate subversion of American democracy. It was the party of civil rights and constitutional rights, particularly censorship, very opposed to censorship and surveillance. It was the party of protecting the most vulnerable people in our society, including particularly children. Today, the Democratic Party is the party of war. It's the party of censorship. It's the party of surveillance. We saw Dick Cheney and John Bolton endorse, along with 255 neocons, endorse Vice President Harris this week. They came out of exile, where they were sent after the Patriot Act. They were sent after the war in Iraq, the biggest foreign policy debacle in American history. And they're not endorsing Vice President Harris because they've changed their minds. They're endorsing her because she represents their worldview. More censorship, more war, more surveillance, and less liberty and constitutional rights.
Yeah, so 100% agree with that. It's amazing that they're embracing, both John Bolton and Dick Cheney. Shows you how far the left, or just how extreme the Democratic Party has turned into. Although this person says Trump did nothing but lying and insulting like he always does. That's kind of what we kind of like about him. He couldn't even say that he would defend Ukraine. Who cares? What do you care so much about Ukraine for? It shouldn't be our business anyway. He says Harris will make a great president and Trump can be the most good-looking person in jail. Well, thanks for the feedback. I guess we'll agree to disagree there. I don't see how Harris will make a great president. She did better than we expected at the debate, but I mean, she clearly lied a lot and got away with it because they didn't do any live fact checks on that. Frank, and it's kind of disappointing for the American people that there wasn't pushback on some of that stuff, especially when she was saying stuff like, Project 2025, getting away with that, the Fine People hoax or the bloodbath thing. I know there's several more. In fact, one of the articles we are going to get to as well is 25 lies Kamala Harris told in her debate against Trump. So, you're being gaslit if you think that she was telling the truth.
Let's get to those lies. I guess, would that be the next question? Kamala should be disqualified for dodging questions.
Actually, that was this article, which we can also run a clip. We can just kind of blend some of these together. There's probably a couple that actually didn't have a specific agree to disagree question on it. I just thought they were interesting. That was one of them, of course. A lot of lies to point out. But yeah, even CNN's Jake Tapper slamming Kamala. And that's one of the things that she got away with, too, is that asking her, very, direct questions. And then she would dance around the issue and dodge it, not answer anything. She looked confident while doing it. So then people took that as some kind of a win, but it wasn't. But I guess that's another thing I want to talk about with that last one about how the party has changed. I remember also Democrats used to be like the party of grassroots and the little people. Now it's all these paid influencers. But side issue, let's get to Kamala dodging.
Yeah, but by the way, maybe the Democrats have always been playing poor people for suckers this entire time.
Well, I don't think that during the civil rights era and all that, I think they maybe saw that as somewhat of an opportunity, but it was always, to me, it was, standing up for the little guy, getting people workers' rights, getting, people, unionized, getting people, fair wages, livable. I 100% always supported that. But then they started doing, it just became this elite establishment where they stopped caring about the little people. And then they were just enriching themselves. And so they destroyed all of these communities, all these blue cities, because they are not helping the little, they claim that they are, and now they are not. But they have changed. At least that's the way I used to know it. So in this particular article here, Jake Tapper criticized the debate performance. Presidential debate was noteworthy for its clear bias toward Harris, had zero fact checks. Trump was fact checked at least 4 times and was faced numerous follow-up confrontations. And of course, they didn't call out Harris because one of the things, one of the first questions was, do you believe when they asked Kamala, they said, hey, Kamala, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
I grew up in the middle class.
Yeah, I was raised as a middle class kid. And she goes on this little, tangent and doesn't answer the question at all. So then Tapper also critiqued Kamala for reverting to boilerplate talking points about the economy. She says even Harris allies today are saying she needs to talk more about what she will do if elected. She also dodged the question about border control because then she changed the subject to do, I used to prosecute criminals for running guns and drugs. But, that wasn't the question.
300,000 children are missing under the Biden-Harris border, Blake. 300,000 children potentially trafficked into hellscape scenarios. 300,000 that Kamala has allowed as borders are.
Right. That's something that Trump should have brought up. And that's kind of one of the things I would criticize. Even though Trump had a lot of great zingers, I feel like he didn't prepare enough. Maybe he's overconfident. He knows the issues, but those were opportunities to hammer those specific points like that.
I think what I saw was, and I guess we did a live stream with Mike Barra and Steve Doran. And
Tuesday night,
we covered it live on Tuesday night. I think I'll be back on Tuesday with Toxic
for
masculine
Dr.
Tuesday.
Brooks.
Yeah, he's gone for a couple weeks, right? So I'll be
At
released
least 3, yeah.
while he's on the DL or something. But yeah,
he's in the Mediterranean. Good for him.
Nice. Yeah. I saw the debate as a whole lot of nothing. Honestly, there were a lot of knockout opportunities that Trump did not capitalize on. I think the not asking the other opponent questions part I feel like that's getting in the way of him going at her. I think he's also very cognizant of the dynamics of what it would look like if he were perceived as being as bullying or steamrolling Kamala Harris, the lady up there. So I think we did in some regards have a very reserved President Trump. Yeah, there was some meandering, and yeah, there were some issues that came up, and some people want to say, well, the president should not have gone to Arlington, despite being invited by the families of those 13 brave servicemen and women who were betrayed by Harris and Biden. And I say, no, he should go. Like, well, that's disrespectful to the people in Arlington. You know what? President Trump, by going there, got Afghanistan's withdrawal front and center on our minds again. And I appreciate that because it needs to be front and center. And I think, I can't believe President Trump talked about they're eating the cats. Okay.
Dogs. He said dogs, though. That was no, nobody said anything about dogs.
The crying woman is talking about decapitated dogs. Yes, she
one
was.
Person.
I just played it.
I
Why
know.
did you go to one person? Yes, it was one person. What, you need 2? You need 10? You need 300? What's an adequate number of dead dogs before you'll believe it, Blake?
I don't know enough about that lady. It's one person. She was hyperventilating about her community.
But there's no reason to
wasn't on TV.
What we just heard out of hand.
Right. Yeah, but I don't think that was something that was played initially. It was all.
What does that matter? Is it happening or is it not?
It does because it makes MAGA look like assholes. Like we're supposed to, hey, we're have a higher standards for our getting our facts straight. But then everybody's jumping on board like, oh my God, they're eating family pets and dogs and stuff. I'm like, well, is that actually true or not? I don't think it was. Yes, geese, ducks, feral cats, cool. Anything else just makes
feral
us look
cats
like
or
assholes.
pets. I'm not drawing a line between feral cats and pets. I've had many cats in the feral cat community, outdoor cats that I've cared for. Those are pets. I'm not drawing any distinction there. If somebody did something to Ray Charles, Smokey Morris, any of those guys and girls that I took care of, that is a pet. There's no not line of distinction for me in a feral cat community. They're supposed to be protected. So anyway, that aside, I think President Trump did do a pretty good job of kind of staying reserved, not going ballistic, not going too heavy-handed. And I think he was kind of under the same parameters with Joe Biden. It was like the guy's old. He clearly doesn't know what's going on. If you're too mean to him, it's going to come off bad. It's like punching somebody in a cast or something, somebody on crutches, like you're just knocking somebody. It's like, come on, don't do that. And yes, I am comparing Biden and Harris to disabled people, but of course we're talking mentally, spiritually, politically disabled since they have so many terrible policy positions, Blake. So let's talk about the 25 terrible policy decisions, or at least the 25 lies that nobody bothered to fact check Kamala Harris on. Let's get to these because these are the real important issues of the day.
All right, let's kind of run through this quickly. It's taking out a page out of her boss's playbook. Kamala told major whoppers Tuesday night with the help of left-wing activists masquerading as debate moderators. So here are the biggest falsehoods she told. One, that she was a middle-class kid. Let's see. Yeah, her father was a professor, a Marxist, a professor at Stanford University, and her mother was a biomedical scientist at UC Berkeley. So that's one thing. Trump's tax cuts. Harris, to do with the 2017 tax cuts, disproportionately benefited America's billionaires and corporations. But the data produced by the IRS has shown that, on average, all income brackets benefited substantially, with the biggest beneficiaries being working and middle-class income filers, not the top 1%. She talked about this bizarre, we called it out right when we heard it, the Trump sales tax. What the hell was that?
She's so weird.
Yeah, that never happened. They should have called her out right away for that. Fact check. What are you talking about? He's talking about January 6th, the worst attack on our democracy. Contrary, the J6 event did not put American self-governance in jeopardy, nor did it expose Americans to risk like those experienced during real major attacks.
And by the way, let's not forget, 3,000 people on September 11th, 2001. That was just the sad anniversary yesterday. It's just when you compare side by side, it's just mind-boggling that somebody could actually utter something so ridiculous.
Right. No, I agree. What else? We got Project 2025. She mentioned that a few times, and those frickin' those moderators didn't call her out on it because I think they want to believe that, but it's not true. At least he got to mention it. Just restoring Roe v. Wade, but Harris pledged to sign legislation, the Women's Health Protection Act, which would codify abortion through all 9 months of pregnancy. So that's bad. Pro-life laws criminalize miscarriages. She talked about the life-saving laws designed to protect thousands of innocents from elective abortions. However, do not criminalize treatments for the spontaneous loss or complications. And every single pro-life policy on the books includes exceptions for abortion when it is deemed necessary to save the pregnant woman or save her life. She mentioned the abortion stance, that Trump was planning to, pass some, abortion ban. That's BS. The 9-month abortions don't exist. Well, it kind of depends on what state, and some have them much later than others. California, Maryland, New Hampshire, New Jersey. Of course, they pointed out the Virginia, which was very extreme and included after birth. That was from the governor's own words, the one before Youngkin, I forget his name. Talking about the border bill would have stemmed illegal immigration.
Oh, it was Ralph Northam.
Yeah, so that's messed up. Let's see. What else? SCOTUS immunity ruling. Decision would mean Trump would essentially be immune from any misconduct, but the claim is misleading. We've got a fracking ban. She made it clear back and then. Her views have not changed. I'm trying to do these quickly because I got about 20 minutes and I got to run. Minnesota rioters bail fund. You were vocal about that. She did make efforts to get all these people out of jail. Trump's role in J6, that he incited a riot, but he clearly said peacefully and patriotically, and he also made several efforts to get 10,000 National Guard troops. She claimed that some police officers died during J6, but the only one that died was Brian Sicknick the day after. That was from natural causes, not because of direct violent attacks, even though they tried to make it sound like he was had his skull bashed in with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, all of the MAGA people that are gun owners showed up that day, and Trump did not direct them to go overthrow the government at all. And not a single shot was fired except for Ashley Babbitt getting shot by a cop that day. That was the only shot fired. That was never remotely an insurrection. It was a mostly peaceful protest in reaction to something that obviously felt wonky. It didn't. They wanted to investigate further into what happened during the election instead of rubber stamping the magical 6 states pausing to overturn multiple hundreds of thousands of Trump victories to magically push Biden across the finish line. That was a protest. That was not an insurrection.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So they are able to keep perpetuating those lies, and the moderators didn't do anything. Trump did get a little bit of a pushback, but that's one of those things I'd like to see a second debate and actually get some fact checks on Kamala or any of these left-wing people that are perpetuating this hoax. Speaking of hoaxes, they did push the Fine People hoax.
Why are you so obsessed with the Fine People hoax, Blake?
What's that?
You always call me out like I'm obsessed with the Fine People hoax. It's a big deal. Like Biden ran his whole campaign on, I decided to run when he called Nazis fine people. It's like that never happened. And they've been saying it nonstop ever since. It's corrosive. It's toxic. It's bullshit. It's lies.
Right. But if there was an agree to disagree drinking game, people would have to drink every time Brian mentions the Fine People hoax.
Yeah. All right. What else did she get away with?
The bloodbath hoax. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Which one was that? That was talking about the car industry.
Yeah, it's done with the auto industry, and they took it out of context, and they made it sound like he was calling for violence if Americans or if Democrats win the election.
Democrats are so weird. All right, what else we got?
Trump's NATO comments that Russia could do whatever it wants with Ukraine, but she took the president out of context. Talking about NATO and for them to pay their fair share, I guess. Autocrats' preferences for president, about Vladimir Putin publicly through his support for Harris and not Trump. Talked about the combat zones. There is not one member of the United States military who was in active duty in a combat zone for the first time this century, but that's not true.
And you know what, Blake? That's a direct response that's a direct response to how powerful it is for President Trump and Trump supporters to say and point out this is the only president, Donald John Trump, MAGA movement. Donald Trump's presidency was the only time in recent memory that the United States has not embroiled itself in useless foreign conflict. So their reaction is to try to one up that and say that there's no troops in combat zones. Bullshit. It's happened. There are places that U.S. troops are taking losses. It just happened in Iraq. They're in Syria. They're all over the map. On top of it, under your watch, you got a nuclear World War III going on with the U.S.-backed forces in Ukraine, and you've got Gaza on fire. So yes, your administration is causing all sorts of chaos, and you're pretending that you have nothing to do with these two brand new conflicts that broke out under your watch. I'm not buying it. It's so disingenuous.
Right. No, I agree. But yeah, nobody was going to call her out on the stage. She also tried to blame Trump for the Biden's botched Afghanistan withdrawal because she said, negotiated one of the weakest deals you can imagine, and criticized him for negotiating with the Taliban. She also mentioned
by the way, on that one, Kamala Harris was the last person in that room. She played a major role in that, and we gave over billions of dollars of top-notch military equipment to the bad guys. They are aiding and abetting the enemy. They have become something that you would have never imagined inside of the White House. Someone who's arming and helping people that hate us for God knows what final purpose.
Right. So it's good. I'm going to come back to this one. Trump's foreign policy record. She said Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. Of course, she's going to say that, but that wasn't based in reality. Defunding the police, where Harris has previously expressed support for policing and redirecting resources away from the police.
Yeah.
And the IVF, an attempt to link Democrats' abortion goals. Harris claimed that Donald Trump's abortion bans are being denied IVF treatments, but he has openly touted IVF and even promised that he would make taxpayers funded it. And the other one, of course, was gun confiscation. She claims she doesn't support gun confiscation, but that is false. And Brian, you also sent me a video from Instagram, which I can play here, about that very issue and how she contradicts her own statements in previous videos. So let's let this rip.
Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about them.
That's weird. I've literally never heard you say that in your entire career of being a politician. Let's see how many times you've actually said that we need to ban assault weapons. I think it's time for you to stop the lying.
We need an assault weapons ban. These are reasonable things to do. We need an assault weapons ban. Let us finally pass an assault weapons ban. We need an assault weapons ban. I do believe that we need to do buyback. I'm prepared to take executive action and put in place a ban on the importation of assault weapons into our country. Well, there are approximately 5 million, to your point, Craig. And we have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program. I support buybacks. How mandatory is your gun buyback program? It's mandatory. And together, when we win in November, we are finally going to pass universal background.
First of all, what even is an
Yeah, well, the audio is a little painful there, but we get the gist. There are multiple examples of where she is calling for that, at least when it comes to her definition of assault weapons. But that could be a blanket for a lot of different things. So she emphatically said, "Oh yeah, no, her and Tim Walz are proud gun owners." But yeah, then this how she really feels in her own statements contradicts that. But anyway, yeah, maybe for the rules for them, they'll be okay.
Right. Keeping with Kamala, do you agree or disagree that all free speech in America will end if she seizes control somehow?
Oh yeah, we get more videos here. This is out of Natural News. Kamala supporting what Brazil just did to X. And here she's claiming it. So Elon Musk, Robert F. Kennedy, Tulsi are in an uproar over the possibility of Kamala winning and silencing free speech. And these are the things that you need to know. Let's watch this 30-second clip.
He has lost his privileges, and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. The same rule has to apply, which is that there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people.
Even he's going putting his hands out.
Any level of oversight or regulation, and that has to stop.
Yeah, no, they abused their power by basically shutting down people that were engaged in free speech, exposing many issues they had during the COVID times, and as well as the Hunter Biden laptop scandal that was embarrassing for the establishment. And so they embedded feds inside these social media companies to control what they were allowed to talk about. So it's something the establishment would obviously like to control, and that is not cool. And we're seeing what happens in Brazil, where they're basically shutting down speech on there, and then trying to force Twitter X to, dox people who are critical of the administration, and they're just, black bagging these people, locking people up, abusing authority. So here's another clip about Harris using the Department of Justice to hold social media platforms responsible. So check this one out.
And we'll put the Department of Justice of the United States back in the business of justice. We will double the Civil Rights Division and direct law enforcement to counter this extremism. We will hold social media platforms accountable for the hate infiltrating their platforms, because they have a responsibility to help fight against this threat to our democracy.
Yeah, they have no authority to say anything because they've already been caught red-handed meddling and covering up legitimate news sources and news stories.
And if you profit off of hate, if you act as a megaphone for misinformation or cyber warfare, if you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable as a community.
It sounds like Kamala is threatening, they're gonna just sick the feds on a midnight raid on Twitter headquarters.
Yeah, like they did to that fat guy in Utah. They blew his house up instead of arresting him on the way to Walmart. Because he said mean things, bad things about Biden.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to that UK police chief who is even threatening to extradite Americans for writing, saying bad things about the immigrants, at least in their opinion, to their problem that they have over there. Those people are also being arrested.
I'm like, University of Kentucky. What's going on at the University of Kentucky? You're like, oh, the UK,
United Kingdom, England, jolly old England, Britain, Britannia.
Fish and chips, isn't it, governor? Fish and chips, isn't it, governor? But as I'm watching her talk there, Blake, I'm wondering, was she wearing an audio earring during this speech or maybe during the debate? Do you agree or disagree that Kamala is wearing the Barack Hussein Obama in the basement over a microphone? What's going on with Kamala? Lots of people are talking.
Yeah, that's another one of those issues that they're talking about, that maybe she was cheating, and there's a tech company breaking their silence on the viral theory that Harris wore stealth audio earrings during the debate. There is a resemblance. It's a German tech company has extended an offer to President Trump, adding fuel to the ongoing controversy. The debate showed that Kamala had these earrings which became a topic that maybe that she was covertly cheating or in hiding in plain sight. Some social media users have claimed the earrings are smart audio devices from this particular company. So anyway, I'm going to say I disagree with that. I don't think that there was. So some people are saying maybe she had the questions in advance, or that somebody was feeding stuff to her. What's that?
It sure seems that way. And I would love to get Kamala off script, just like Obama off script. Oh man. Oh, Obama was so smart. Obama was so great. Like
Obama is smart. I mean, I don't like him. He's deceptive. I don't believe him.
He's not great off script. He's not great off script.
Right. It would much more challenging environment for him. Yes, he's not looked good when his teleprompter goes off. But I don't think that they were cheating. There was no surprise questions at this debate. Zero. There wasn't one thing where I went, oh, wow, that was kind of a really interesting curveball question. And Kamala answered it perfectly and Trump was stumbling, because there wasn't anything like that. These were all general questions that they all should have been prepared for over and over again. And I'm not buying that. Now, maybe there's the earring, and maybe they're just throwing in a buzzword or two so she knows where to say something. I would think that to try to like have somebody speak in your ear and then to try to talk naturally, just repeating whatever, I think that would be heavily distracting. I don't know if I buy that, but maybe they could throw in a buzzword just to kind of keep her on a certain script. But I'm not buying the idea that she was cheating per se. No surprises in that debate.
Yeah, I heard somebody mentioning like somebody in her ear was telling her, take your hand off your chin, and like she abruptly pulled her hand off her chin, like she was direct. Someone was watching, and just kind of guiding, maybe stuff like that. Yeah, it's imagine trying to hear something and type something and say something and remember. So like if your timing is off, you just freeze and you're like, hold on, what are you saying? Hold on,
right.
Okay, I got to go to the store after. Okay, all right. Like you can't really do that in real time, but maybe while the other person's talking, you could be getting your notes. All right, say this. You start here. Like there's a million ways to coach people, but I would just assume this is obvious because I figure we've been doing this since at least for the past 50 years, Blake.
Yeah, I'm sure there is some cheating going on somewhere, but like I said, I didn't see, there was zero surprises in this. So
yeah, I thought my reaction to the debate in general was just, I thought it was a tie. There wasn't a lot going on. It didn't really move the needle one way or the other. I think Kamala did great since her really good friend, sorority sister, whatever their connection is, since she had such an influence there. Yeah, it obviously felt like she was very She had 2 months to prepare for one play. That's cool. Now do it today, do it tomorrow, like interview, do another debate, do an interview. Be like Trump, be like a real boss, not a girl boss, a real boss, a boss, and just go out and try to prove to us that you're not just capable of learning from an acting coach. How about that? Justice or just us, Kamala? Justice or just us? Pied Piper saying Obama said he'd love to have a third term where he can speak to someone through a microphone.
Well, he probably was with Biden.
Yeah.
So there were times, and he said he could direct them from sitting in his sweatpants in Martha's Vineyard in the basement doing God knows what. But directing Joe and playing puppeteer.
I think you're on the way out. I just want to address one series of comments real quick. ST saying E. Jean Carroll said Trump raped her and provided no evidence. Brian believes her though, right? Continues, she cried about it in interviews, so she's telling the truth, talking about that girl and the decapitated dog. And then he's ST, I don't know if it's a he or she. ST says, my main point is we should never take anyone at their word. Yeah, I know. But why are you taking a city manager who doesn't know everything about everything at their word? How are you so quick to dismiss the word of a lot of people who are reporting the same story, but you're willing to take the advice of one person? You're willing to take their word for it as if they know everything about everything. They don't. So I just, any thoughts, Blake? because you kind of think it was more of a mistake than I did, and I think he's calling attention to the problems when you dump illegal alien communities into small communities without assimilation and vetting. It's a culture clash, and it doesn't work, and it's bad, and he's bringing attention to it, which I appreciate.
Right. I mean, obviously I'm biased to a degree, but I wanted MAGA to be right on this and to be justified by making these bold accusations. And I retweeted the memes and things because I thought it was hilarious with the, ducks and cats and Trump saving everybody. But I never went far enough to say that they were eating family pets. I don't think that was too much. And I think too many people jumped on the bait and it made us all look bad. And so it's one of those things. I want that MAGA to look good, that they're the ones telling the truth, and that it's the Democrats that are the ones gaslighting and making stuff up, because they do a ton of it. But they get the chance to dunk on us when people mess up on these things. People, it's a rush because you want to believe certain things, but it's not always based in reality. But the jury's still out.
And the jury's still out, and we're still examining more information. Who knows? Maybe we'll even go there and ask some people what's going on and really get to the bottom of this. We shall see, everybody. Blake, you got to run. I know there's.
We got to run. We got one last story.
Oh, there was one more story. I'm sorry. What I missed?
I don't know if is it a story. Oh yeah, it was. I'll pull it up if I see.
I think I got to all the ones I had.
Nope, there.
But Americans First says, "Go Cleveland baseball team." Yes, we are in first place. And Kamala for sure was cheating. She for sure. What did that say? She for sure. Hold on. Had an earpiece, and the questions. Okay, go ahead. Oh, Biden wearing the MAGA hat. I'm sorry, I must have shuffled that. Yes, one more story. Thank you.
No worries. I just got a quick minute because there's not much to talk about on this one. As after donning a MAGA hat, Biden tells Trump supporters no eating dogs and cats. Little camaraderie with different sides, having a little fun. Joe looked like he was having a good time, messing with these local residents there. And then Alex Jones put this tweet out, and Brian, if you put this tweet out as well or retweeted it at me. He said he saw this. I saw this video earlier today, but it was short, so I didn't know the context. But now seeing this from a better angle, it's clear. Claims Biden is angry about being pushed out are true. He's tired of being a puppet of the deep state. Now, that part I might not agree with, all due respect. And, Alex can be a bit of a sensationalist. He's an entertainer. He's a performance actor. What is that? But yes.
Every media personality is, by the way. Every media personality is.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's certainly top quality infotainment. But I don't agree with everything. And this one, I don't think that Joe Biden is actually, this was not rehearsed. This happened to be like a resident sitting there wearing a MAGA hat, doing autographs. They're having a little fun, but I don't think this was some kind of symbolic thing. Like Joe is sending a message to the elite. You shouldn't have thrown me out, dude. Now I'm going to wear a MAGA hat because now I'm MAGA.
Remember at the debate, Trump said, and previously he said he's had conversations with Biden, and Biden can't stand Harris. Do you want to play this clip?
I could maybe believe that, or can't stand Obama, or certain things, but I don't think this was. Yeah, I might have to run, but I'll run.
No, that's fine. I can pull it up on my stuff.
Presidential seal on it.
You want to autograph it?
Oh, sure, I'll autograph it.
Huh?
Yeah.
You remember your name?
I don't remember my name. I'm slow.
I don't remember my name. I'm slow.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm an old guy.
And you're an old person.
And to be fair, I mean, he was kind of actually, likable and charismatic in this exchange. So,
you know about that?
What?
About being old.
Oh, I know.
All right.
I'm a young timer.
I'm a young timer.
Wasn't calling him a dog-faced pony soldier or anything.
I think the line here is kind of interesting.
Well, I'm the only one.
I talked over it. He says, "We have one like you and
man. I need that hat."
You want my autograph?
Hell no.
You know my name. Come on.
I ain't going that far.
Yeah. You said you would do a selfie. There you go.
Look how happy the crowd is. Look how happy the crowd was.
Right. Yeah, he won over the crowd. I mean, that's probably Joe's most likable moment of the last 4 years. So,
Ever.
Yeah, maybe. So, anyway, I thought it was all right, but I don't think he was trying to do something at the elites or anything, expressing his anger. But yeah, interesting. Still fun tweets. But anyway, I got to run. It's been delightful. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Brian. We'll do this again next week.
Yes, we will.
Maybe live in studio, maybe live at. We'll see. We're working on.
Right.
Something could be switching things up next week. We shall see. But to be continued. But I got to go.
There he goes, everybody. TV's Blake
All right,
Walley. Follow him on X. He's at TV's Blake Walley and thenextlevelnews.com. If you want to support independent journalism, he's on Cash App at $Blake W99. Yes. Why would you want to support independent journalism? Because sometimes people like Blake, people like me, people like Blake and I will go to January 6th. We'll go to Occupy Los Angeles. We'll go to the Bundy Ranch. We'll go to the Cleveland Convention for the Republicans in 2016, the Philadelphia Convention for Democrats in 2016. We'll go to the Bronx for a Trump speech in 2024, the Libertarian Convention in 2024, the Republican and Democrat conventions in 2024. And going to all these places, it's, it adds up. It adds up. So if you want to support independent journalism, please follow Blake Walley and assist him in those regards. Biden wearing a MAGA hat. I mean, it's really strange. It's really strange. The Matrix has officially broken. I don't know what has occurred now that we have Biden wearing a MAGA hat. Let's see. Unhappy hour field trip to Springfield. Let's go. Hey now. Okay, can't play going on my computer right quick. Oh, like you're trying to jump in and it's not working? Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out because I could theoretically switch the screen to share this tab instead. Did it work? Oh, I guess I got to go like that. Yeah, so in theory, I might be able to pull up the Facebook feed and then get someone to join through the Facebook feed because Facebook will not show my stuff. They're threatening to delete me. They hit me with like pages and pages of violations today. They're in full election interference mode right now. They silenced me during 2020, the riots, the Summer of Love, Kyle Rittenhouse, COVID, the election. They hated me because I wasn't repeating their lies. They didn't like that I wasn't lying. I was refuting their lies. So it's more important than ever that you follow the New American Media in all of the places. Yeah, a field trip to Springfield. Well, maybe that might happen. Maybe that could happen. All right, wrapping this up. ST saying, I'm not dismissing that girl's story. Or I'm sorry, the city manager's story. Why the heck would I believe a city manager? Who the heck are they? All right, yeah, fair. Okay, gotcha. All right. That's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow. Need to breathe heavier to sound like that guy. Costanza? Can't stand ya. Yes, unhappy hour field trip to Springfield. Let's go. Playing the fiddles while Rome burns. I'm not always getting myself in trouble on Facebook. Facebook is always a trash company. There's a difference. They never point to anything specific. They never give you an opportunity to remedy any alleged issue. They never give you an opportunity to appeal. They're always up to something. I'm not causing problems on Facebook. Facebook is causing problems with me. I didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on me. Yes, Kenneth, we'll have to bring two B's together for a quarter. Back in my day. All right, let me stop sharing this. Let me see if I can pull this up. I guess there's two. Kenneth, where is that other Telegram group? There's you and I, but there's I guess it's called A2D group. I think. Do that one. I'm not seeing the A2D. Oh, right there. Oh, wow. That was from a year ago. That's not the one I'm trying to find. I'm looking to see if there's any other jokes from today. This will be the... I'm going to go through the whole list of jokes. Yeah, so I told you the vacationing in Florida joke. That was okay. Tastes like kitten. Tastes like chicken. What else? Kamala asked how well she did in school. She replied, well, I did good on the oral exams. Hey now. That's a Willie Brown joke. A Willie joke. At the debate, Kamala seen using an earpiece, giving new meaning to earpiece of ass. An earpiece of ass. Hey-oh. But let's see. Yes, ear candy. ABC stands for a biased cast. I do like that one. What was this? Working on this joke here. During the early days of Kamala Harris's political career, she was described as being eye candy for San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown and talk show host Montel Williams. But after the debate, many people were discussing the potential ear candy that was feeding Harris debate answers like a walkie-talkie. Yes, I probably could have used that one leading into the Kamala Harris, Barack Obama in the basement joke. That would have been okay. Yeah, okay. What else? Oh, yeah, we're going to make a kind of work in Hulk Hogan and now Mr. T. It's Dave Grohl, apparently. There's a story circulating that Dave Grohl has fathered a child out of wedlock. We got George Bush jamming on a guitar. I don't know what circumstance this is. The meme says, and here's a little ditty I like to call Boulevard of Melted Beams. Oof, too soon. Saw a bumper sticker that said, I just can't support harass 2024. Harris, harass. Something about Biden. Did he or didn't he? Depends. Oh, some people are saying Biden soiled himself at this event. Did he or didn't he? Depends. There's something there. What's this one? Biden was asked about what he thinks about Putin. He replied, I like rice Putin. Is that rice pudding or Rasputin? Does that mean rice pudding or Rasputin? I don't know. I think there's stuff there. Okay, yoga joke. That's evergreen. We could bring that back. Maybe talk about that yoga joke, Ken. We can work on that one with the yoga class. Maybe talk about Kamala and her Indian heritage and work in some yoga spiritual practices, perhaps. All right, PBS, that's funny, but we got to wait for the right moment on that one. The Comedy Club, these are good, but I think we should hold on to them to find the right story to work them in there. These could all be sidebars. If we're talking about something in the desert, or if we're talking about something in Gaza, something in Northern Africa, we could bring up that Comedy Club joke. Yeah, I'd love to tell you what I'm pudding. Okay, pudding, rice pudding. But I read it as Rasputin. Rasputin. Who was Rasputin? He's a historical figure. Okay, what else were we coming up with? Yeah, I want to do something about Tyreek Hill getting arrested for acting like a jackass. I know that there's jokes there. Allegedly, Bon Jovi saved someone from jumping off a bridge. Wanted to work in Living on a Prayer, or Wanted Dead or Alive, or Wanted Only Alive, something like that. Yeah, Sal started joking. I was going to add him to this Telegram group. Somehow we're making jokes about Tom Jones. It is unusual to eat cats or other pets. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I stew pussycat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on, that's a fun one. All right, Canton woman joke. Okay, the hearing aid joke. There's something there. That's a spicy joke. There's something that could be worked on there. Fully flesh that one out a bit, perhaps. Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill was arrested this week, and many are criticizing Hill's actions that escalated a speeding ticket into a rough arrest. One cop who wished to remain anonymous or under conditions of one police officer under conditions of anonymity said, he's lucky we only got him for speeding and resisting officer commands, because that dude reeked of the wacky tobacco. Unconfirmed reports, of course. That's like the phrase reeked. What do we do, meow? Come on, meow. Yeah, I think Super Troopers, come on, meow. We could work Super Troopers into some Springfield jokes. If you write them, they will laugh. All right, so those were some of the jokes that we started working on. It's a process, and people like Ken Bloom are working with us, dropping jokes. I think it's gonna be fun. I really do want to start doing jokes like a Gutfeld or do an opening monologue, delivering the news in a funny way, because I want to get on stage. I want to do stand-up, and I have to learn how to write. And the performance part, I think I'll figure that out as I go. Not really worried about that, but just you got to move fast, because the story cycles move so fast. There will be evergreen jokes in here, but some of them, they come and go. Story's big today, it's gone tomorrow. But yes, more to come for sure. All right, so follow the New American Media in all of the places, please. The Rumble account for the New American Media, please subscribe. In Springfield, they pussyfoot around too often. Yes, Sal. Sal's dropping jokes. The New American Media page on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have our podcast, The Agree to Disagree Show, on Spotify, and the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. We're putting strictly football shows into the Unhappy Hour, so you can find those there. We're on Truth Social, The New American Media. We temporarily have a page on Facebook, The New American Media, and we have TNAM groups, TNAM. And TNAM's The Agree to Disagree Show is one of them. Find all the TNAM groups. On X, we're at American_media_. We are temporarily on Instagram, The New American Media. Odyssey is our backup to our YouTube channel. Go to Odyssey and find The New American Media. Patreon, if you would like to support what we do here, patreon.com/The New American Media. Telegram, TNAM and TNAM Chat. And then on Signal, TNAM and TNAM Official. So search for TNAM, because the news always matters. That is the New American Media, of course. Special thanks to everybody that joined us today. Who's better than Gutfeld? Jimmy Failea. I don't know Jimmy. Send me some stuff about Jimmy. Send me something really good to watch, and I'll check Jimmy out. I'm not familiar. But yes, Reek indeed. Reek. Thank you, everybody. Special thanks to Blake Walley. And we'll be back at 5 o'clock. Broadcasting again with best-selling author Mike Barra, doing Strictly Football, covering the last week and looking forward to this week. Whew, it's so nice having football back. It feels good. Oh, thanks, Kenneth. He always, he said pay me on, but he reminded me of Venmo as well. Also, if you'd like to support the New American Media, you can do so at at Brian Engelman, BrianEngelman, at Brian Engelman. And you can donate that way. And also, if you're looking to get some coasters, we have the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. Check these out. 4 packs of Ohio-made wooden coasters. Can be yours. If you send me a Venmo at Brian Engelman and say, I want coasters, Ohio shape. Coasters, circle shape. Or both sets of coasters. So $30 for a 4-pack. I'll mail that out to you right away. Or for $50, I'll give you both. So for $50, send a Venmo and say, I want both, please. And I will send these out to you. It's a donation. You click that on Venmo. It's a donation. Because we're like PBS. We're public broadcasting. And if you send us something and say thank you, we want to say thank you and send this back to you. So that is what's up. We appreciate each and every one of you for joining us today. And we'll be back. Strictly Guardians. Yeah. Yes, you can put your beer on that. Strictly Guardians, Saturday night on Fox News. Oh, okay, that's who Jimmy Failea. Not familiar with him, but I will check I will try to check him out. And if you have something, please send it to me. Strictly Guardians. I know I should be doing like a regular Indians show, a regular Cleveland baseball squadron show. The team is good. They're tied with the Yankees with the best record in the American League. That's awesome. Let's win that pennant already. I'm here for it. So anyway, we'll be back. We'll talk